Hey YouTube, thanks for clicking on my video today. Haven't posted anything on my channel in a while, so just wanted to throw an update out there. Hopefully the fan noise in the background's not too bad. I'm doing this out in my garage today. The lighting's not that good. It's hot as can be here today. It's about 96, 97 degrees here in North Carolina, and the feels like temperature is like 110. So it's just plain old hot. So anyway, have an upgrade for the Lincoln Town Car that I want to show you guys. As soon as I put the first item on the frame here in the frame, you'll probably know what it is. So anyway, here it is. Yep, I'm gonna put some nitrous in the old Lincoln there. So I bought a used nitrous kit off of Facebook actually. Got a good deal on it. Didn't come complete. There were some parts that I needed, like wide open throttle switch, that type of stuff. I've slowly been collecting those items as I need. First thing I'm going to show you here is the plate. This is the I went with the plate system. This is the EFI plate. With the spray bar in the center. I'd rather have that than the shark nozzle that NX makes that you spray down the intake tube. I just don't care for that setup as much. It's probably okay, but I don't know. This was just my preference. It's going to require a little more work because of the spacer. Oh, here's the gasket. This is one of the gaskets. I actually made this gasket to go on top of the EFI plate. But the problem is this plate's going to raise the intake elbow up about I don't know, ½ inch, maybe a little less, which means I have to deal with the EGR tube, of course, because it's, you know, bent and shaped to fit exactly where it belongs. So I need to decide whether I want to modify the EGR tube or delete the EGR altogether. Haven't decided yet. Trying to keep the car as close to legal as I can. You know, I do have to get visual inspection down here in North Carolina. So I don't want to start pulling too much stuff off the car as it is. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So first thing I have here, this is from Nitrous Express, and this is actually this is a progressive controller. I think you can read that on there. Has a knob that you can rotate the time ramp on this, which is pretty cool. It goes all the way from 0 up to 4.5 seconds, and what that does, it's basically a pulse width modulation unit for your relay. And what it does is it pulses the relay on and off very quickly in the beginning and limits the nitrous to about 20% of the total spray. So you know, and then it ramps it up. It slowly starts to increase the duty cycle on the relay until the relay just remains on, and you can adjust that from like a ½ a second to come into full power all the way up to, like I said, 4.5. So that's nice to have. You know, it's not as hard a shock on the drive line because you're not dumping, you know, if you're doing like a 150 shot, you're not hitting the motor and the drivetrain all at once with 150 shot of nitrous. So it should help cut down on wheel spin off the line, help improve my launches. So that was worthwhile investment. The other thing I need, as I mentioned, was throttle position sensor, TPS switch. And really the right way to do this, if you're going to, is get a window switch, a RPM window switch too. You don't want to just have a wide open throttle switch to control your nitrous. You know, if for some reason you crack it wide open, you hit the wide open throttle position sensor or switch, and you're below 3,000 RPM, it's not going to end well for the motor. So you definitely have to have a RPM window switch also. I bought this unit. I didn't get it from Nitrous Express. I actually wound up going with a company called Lingenfelter. They do a lot of stuff for the Corvettes and GMs and LS, but I like this window switch better. I'm going to bring it up here on the camera. It's all analog settings, so you have to dial your upper and lower RPM limits in. You also have an adjustment for the you know, RPM range, not the RPM range, but whether it's, you know, 8-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 4, whatever. Also, it has built in, with all this wiring here, you have built-in TPS sensor switch, so that you have both. So I have both controls on this, so I can set it up so that the nitrous will not come on till I hit the proper RPM range, and the throttle position sensor sees that it's wide open. So that was a good, it's a good safety thing to have. I know that cost me, I think, about $129 or $130, I think, something like that. The NX switch is digital, and I don't really care for that. This, I can see what I got set at any time. I don't have to power up a window and see what's set up on it. And it was more money too. I think it was about $200 for the NX switch and TPS unit. So I opted for this. It's a little cheaper. Yeah, it don't have fancy little lights and stuff on it, but it will get the job done. Going to test it out later this week. Be sure it works with the coil on you know, the plug-on coil, or coil-on plug, I should say, ignition system. It's supposed to. I called them up and talked to their tech people, and it is supposed to work with the coil-on plug system. Another thing I ordered, this I got from Amazon, and it's pretty cool, I think, is you know, I can't find anything custom for a Lincoln. I don't think there's so many people throwing nitrous on a Lincoln, but I needed something to control the you know, the arming and the heater blanket, which is something I didn't get yet. I need to get a heater blanket for the bottle heater to warm it up. But got this switch from Amazon. Hopefully you can see it. It's pretty nice. It's got 4 switch bays on it, and what's cool about it is it's also got 2 momentary switches. So I got one to do the nitrous purge with, and I intend to install line locks on the car, so that other button can be for my line locks. It's a nice switch. These windows here will light up with LEDs, and there's a little sticker pack that comes in the box. I didn't show it on camera here, but it will you know, has different emblems and stuff like that. Of course, it's not set up for nitrous. This was set up for, like, you know, lighting arrangement on, like, emergency vehicle or whatever. So, you know, I might just label them A, B, C, D, E, and F. I'll know what they're for. And here's the back side of it, which is kind of cool, is the switch. The company says that each switch will handle 15 amps output, which, I don't know. Looking at the wiring here, I think that's a little optimistic, 15 amps through this wire. But I'm not going to be handling anywhere near that, because all of my nitrous stuff, the arming, the solenoids, the heater, bottle, blanket, all of that's going to be done with relays. So basically all this has to do is power up the relays when I flip the switch, and then the relay will handle the heavy current. They're also fused. They even got fuses in here, which is crazy, because these things are like 25 amp fuses in here, which I think is crazy. If you're telling me it's rated for a 15 amp circuit, why would you put a 25 amp fuse in there? One of the other things I would have liked to have seen them do, for my purpose anyway, all these here are the different input wires. These are for the LEDs. These 2 here, the red and black wires, is for the lights on the switches, and the lighting, backlighting for the little symbols. All these inputs here, I'm just going to tie them all to one 12-volt source. So basically, you could have one wire going into the switch for 12 volts, and have 12 volts coming out on this side when you flip the switch. Although what's nice in this case, if you chose to do so, you could either switch some of the circuits. You might want to switch to 12 volts on and off, the positive 12 volts on and off, and some of them you may want to do a negative switch and, you know, wire up the B plus, you know, the 12 volt positive to whatever the device is, and then ground it through your switching. So, you know, it does give you options to do so if you want. I'm probably just going to do everything switch to the 12 volt positive to keep things simple. Or maybe, yeah, everything 12 volt positive I'll be switching on and off. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these wires back down quite a bit. Solder a 10 gauge wire feed up to the switch. So that's that. So let me see what else I could cover here. Yeah, okay. Speaking of that, talking about the Purge. I got the Purge system I ordered. That was like $106 from Summit Racing. I got the main feed wire, cable, the braided steel line to go from the tank to the engine bay. I'm going to scoop that down a little bit. That's the cable for the engine, you know, to go up to the engine bay to feed the solenoids. And here are the solenoids. I'm going to get these. These are nice solenoids too. These are the Lightning solenoids, the 15200L. These flow a lot more nitrous. I've tested them. They're working. That's the one for the nitrous itself. And this one I believe is fuel. Yeah, this is the fuel solenoid. So I basically got everything I need here. Here was the other gasket I was talking about. And I also bought extra nitrous jets so I can change the jetting around on the plate. The jets actually go into the plate itself, not into the solenoid. So right here is where you'll be putting your jetting in. My intentions to start off with, I think, is probably 100 shot. I'd like to jet it maybe up to 150 to 175 on the Lincoln, possibly. I won't know till I talk to the tuner, which is another thing I will be doing. I will be getting this car tuned. Obviously, if I'm running 100 shot of nitrous on here, or even smaller, it needs to be tuned. I've never had the car tuned yet, actually. So I'm expecting the car to actually run a little better than it does right now with the tune. Plus, they'll also probably have to pull back some timing on the ignition to accommodate the nitrous. And I may look into a separate fuel system to run, you know, like 105 race fuel, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to do that because that's going to add more to the system. I've heard people talk about using methanol injection, water methanol injection, to help improve the octane of the fuel, which may buy me some extra timing on the nitrous, but I don't know how that will combine with the nitrous. I really don't, not talked to anybody that really has worked with methanol injection with nitrous. I've seen a lot of guys run the methanol water injection with like a turbo or you know, a blower type system. Anyway, so that's what I got going in the works here right now. I'm going to start mounting this stuff in the car probably today, kind of get a feel for where I'm going to put all this stuff. But I just wanted to make a video and say, hey, this is what I'm up to. Like I said, I haven't posted in a while. I will have a video hopefully when I take it to the dyno, and eventually it will get some track time in on the car, and I will hopefully post some videos of that. I'm gonna need somebody to do the videos for me. Obviously, I'm gonna be driving the car, so I can't take the video. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully, you watched the whole video. I haven't bored you, but that's what's going on with the Lincoln right now. Uh, Getting set up for nitrous, and I'll post another video when I have more to add to what's going on here. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care and have a good day.